Hey, good morning, friends. Today is Tuesday, June the 10th, 2025, and the time now is 7:53 a.m. So, friends, I want to talk briefly about what is happening in the United States of America, throughout the country, and specifically in Los Angeles, California, LA. And I'm talking in this case, friends, specifically about the immigration or the ICE raid that has been happening in LA for the past few days and throughout the country. So we know Donald Trump, upon coming to the White House again for his second term, during the campaign, he had been using racial slurs at minority groups. We are talking about a man who referred to African countries and Haiti and other countries in the America as shithole countries. The same man who referred to Mexicans as gangsters and rapers and so on and bad hombres. And he had been basically disrespecting minority groups and minority ethnic groups, okay, people of the non-white stocks or blood. Trump, during his campaign, he stated explicitly that should he win the election, he was going to initiate a mass deportation. When that happened, when he was campaigning and saying all these things, many in the United States, whether we are talking about average Americans and even prominent thinkers and observers on US politics and domestic affairs, were warning, and of the most prominent were African Americans, Black Americans, or blacks in the United States, who were basically sounding the alarm that should Donald Trump win the election, that he was going to go after minority groups, Hispanics, and everyone else. Now, when the election was coming, there were many who voted against Kamala Harris. For example, many, my friends, in the Arab or Muslim community voted against Kamala Harris and or for Donald Trump. And this was regarding the situation in Gaza, basically terming Joe Biden genocide Joe, and that because Kamala Harris hasn't separated herself in terms of her policy, hasn't distanced herself from Joe Biden's policy, that Kamala Harris was also a party to the genocide in Gaza or the murder in Gaza. So, friends, many in the Arab or Muslim community, as a result, rub it in the Black American or in Kamala Harris's face as they went about voting against Kamala Harris and or for Donald Trump. The same thing with many in the Latino community. For example, Cuban actually stands out. The Cuban population, many within the Cuban group, voted for Donald Trump, and they came out swinging for Donald Trump. There were people having concerts, singing and dancing, praising Donald Trump. And they basically hailed the fact that under Donald Trump, the United States will not be a communist country. And friends, they basically express logical fear because these are people who are coming from Cuba. There has been a phrase which is now popular and is being used all over the world and throughout the United States, which is FAAFO, fuck around and find out. Once again, the phrase FAAFO, which is fuck around and find out. When Donald Trump took over the presidency again for his second term, he has been igniting wars all over the place. And I'm talking in this case, he ignited an economic slash trade war with China in about 180 or so countries around the world, which he has been losing. And he had basically backtracked on his policy, okay, his trade war policy tremendously to the point where now he is being referred to as tackle. Once again, friends, Donald Trump is being referred to for the past weeks now as Trump tackle or tackle, which is Trump always chickens out, and he doesn't like that. But Donald Trump for the past 2 weeks has initiated an ICE slash immigration raid throughout the United States. And it is very sad. It is painful to watch in the United States. And in this case, it is prominent from Los Angeles, where many immigrants, okay, whether we are talking about those who are legal and or illegal, are being roughed off the streets from their jobs or even their homes and basically taken by ICE agents to detention centers. It is said that people are being arrested in court. They are being arrested as they go about trying to file their immigration paper, or as they go into the immigration offices to try to run after their paperwork. These are people who are doing things correctly, and still they are being roughed up and shipped elsewhere. They are being detained by ICE agents. Now, one thing that is very interesting is that ICE agents are on the streets in LA and basically hiding their identity. Many, and including myself, I do believe that it is very logical, it is important, and it is good that ICE agents should not wear face masks. Their identities should be known. America and the rest of the world should know who they are and what they are doing. Once again, I do believe what Donald Trump is doing is going to backfire against him. And it is also going to backfire against these agents because what they are doing is wrong, is illegal, is inhumane. And they have to face the consequences when the rest of the world and America know who they are and what they've done. When they will have to sit, okay, with their families and friends in the future, knowing that they did this and that to innocent people, and they will have to feel the pain. And friends, if they do not cover their faces, they do not have to feel guilty because nobody know who they are. But I do believe, and I am calling, like many in the United States and around the world have been calling, that ICE agents, if they are out there arresting people, preventing protest, they should not do so with their mask. They should be out there arresting people with mask off so that civilians, people in the United States, know who they are. Now, friends, I do believe that many of these ICE agents are actually not police officers or they are not law enforcement officers. I believe that many of these guys are the Trumpers. Many of these guys are equivalent to what the brown shirts or the black shirts or whatsoever they are or were in both Germany under Adolf Hitler when he was coming to power, and also, my friend, Benito Mussolini of Italy. But it is very sad, and all over social media, there are many who are trolling Latinos and Mexicans and others. And many, especially blacks, who are doing it. Basically, blacks are angry because the vote against Kamala Harris and bringing in Donald Trump to power, it is said that Latino are one of the group that made it happen. I don't remember the exact number, but on the black side, about 92% of black women voted against Donald Trump or for Kamala Harris, and about 78 to 80% of black men voted for Kamala Harris and against Donald Trump. But for the Latino community, a very significant number or amount of them voted for Donald Trump. However, I do believe that blacks should take on the fight. Blacks should be out there protesting and joining the Latino community, basically reestablishing solidarity, which died long ago, but also died a painful death when many Latino came out and voted for Donald Trump and against Kamala Harris. And this is because, friends, what we are seeing in the United States is not about immigration. It's not about illegal immigration because, friends, we are seeing in the United States that illegal people and also the vast majority of immigrants in the United States who are legal migrants are also being arrested brutally by ICE agents and shipped elsewhere. What we are seeing is the emergence, the rise of a fascist system in the United States that I do believe that black Americans need to stand up to, and the rest of the black population, the global black diaspora in the United States and elsewhere, in Africa and around the world, need to stand up to this. Because when they are done with the Latino, I do believe blacks, they're going to turn against blacks, which they've always done. Yes, it is true that what the Latino community and many immigrants are going through, black Americans have experienced that, but it doesn't mean that black Americans should ignore, should not join the fight to protect and defend legal and illegal immigrants and Latino. People are being arrested at their graduations. Family members are afraid to attend graduations because of fear of arrest. We are seeing children are crying as their moms and dads being arrested, being taken away from them. What is happening is inhumane in the United States. We are talking about people who just want to come to the United States and make a living. They are not here to destroy America. Yes, every group of people in the world, in the United States. Every group does have the idiots, the gangsters, and the criminals. But the vast majority of every group in the United States and all over the world are not criminal. Now, for African Americans, they are people, a group of people who've changed America. I do believe they should not sit back and not change America and not defend and protect immigrants, legal or illegal, as they are being brutalized by ICE agents. I am calling on black leaders in the United States, whether we are talking about Jesse Jackson, I know he is very old, Al Sharpton, those are the most prominent, and every other one, religious, social teachers to come out and protect and defend Latinos and other immigrants as they are being brutalized and arrested legally or illegally. Now, friends, for many African Americans who are angry at the fact that many black immigrants or Latino immigrants shoved the hate in their face as they voted against Kamala Harris or for Donald Trump, or as they've been disrespecting black Americans. I do believe that black Americans should not sit idly as America is burning. They are the changes of America, the change that America always needs. What is emerging is a racist regime. What is emerging is fascism. They have to join the fight because many black Americans and many in the United States do have Latino friends and families. So if you're an African American and you feel or you refuse to join the fight in any way possible, you are also making things hard for your own friends and families who are Latino as well. But this is not the time to point finger. This is the time to reestablish solidarity because they pinch you doesn't mean you cannot stand up to fight for them because what is at stake here is a big giant that is kicking the hell out of everybody. Now, friends, please tell me what you think, and I really want to know what you think. But, friends, I'm going to end here. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, my friends, but most especially and most importantly, or important, I want to thank you a lot, my friends, for watching the Echoing Voice. Peace.